This is Mohamed Kakiika. As we are preparing ourselves to get into the festive season, I'd like to share with you my experience as a teacher. For the bulk of my sharings, you've been seeing an astute businessman and a farmer. But I would like to put a touch into my education life. I'm an education administrator, and I would want you to have just a glimpse look at my term one, that is September to November this year, 2024, how it has gone of our first semester. Something that makes up my life. It wraps up my life. So when you see me at the farm, a happy man, when you see me as a bulging entrepreneur, you do not know that I have a very solid backbone. My solid backbone is my education sector. I'm a teacher, an economics teacher, and an education administrator for a long time. But throughout my career, there's something that has been, synonymous with me. Is the love for what I'm doing. When you see me with the cows and with my workers and with the trees, someone forget that I derived that from nurturing youngsters. I love my job as a teacher. I love children. I love my colleagues. When I get to show to you how I relate with my colleagues, you will say, yeah, he's a very reasonable administrator. When I get to show to you how I relate with the students, you really say that this is not an education administrator. This is a parent. In fact, in most cases, I'm usually a parent to my students. Yeah, I wear the administrator's coat, and on another side, I wear parents. In fact, that is why it is always very difficult for me to to expel a student from school, because I always think about myself, how best to help this child. And in fact, I think I have indefinitely suspended so many students. I think they are in hundreds. But I think about 80% of the students normally are given a reconsideration. I'm usually very tough at the beginning, but I end up softening and allowing them a transitional period to correct behavior, because I don't believe in too punishing behavior. I believe in correct behavior. And I think that over time, we are going to have a generation of people who are very considerate, who are not cruel. They are now mature people. But many of them tell me, thank you so much, sir, for giving me an opportunity at a time when it all looked all done for me. I usually bring them back after a month after they've gone through the hurdle. I have a certain touch that I relate with the students, whether they are onto the basketball court or they are into their gym playing. I can join them 11 or 12-year-old, and I start running around and jumping and frog jumping with them and getting onto those machines with them. And you see how happy they are to see their school principal participating. And I fall, I fail, they laugh at me, we enjoy. After I take them to the canteen and house them, they call it housing. I take them to the being with the resources is also good, because I can go with them, about 30 of them, to the canteen. And I instruct the canteen managers, please dish out items worth 10,000 to each one of them. After I write an invoice, and I either pay personally or the school pays. There is recently a situation where I think we are getting to the end of the term. Was it October or early November? There are certain students, the boys grooming, they had overgrown their hair. These youngsters, every single time, whatever trend of the hairstyle or style that is there, that is what they adopt. I remember there was one time when I had it rough with the Mario Barottelli's mock house. Is it mock? That cutting of hair that was going up into. We really battled with the students over that, but my colleagues were always sometimes surprised to say, but you are the one who put up policies, but you are the one who is extremely lenient. And I said that will be over. Within no time, they will no longer be making that mock house, whatever Barottelli thing. When Barottelli fell out of favor, it stopped. Now these guys, these days the style that is there is for long hair, and they keep on growing it so high, and then they comb and press it down. It is the style that is on. But our school rules are clear that the boys should have, are they 2 inches or 1.5 inches long hair? And as the term was ending, boys had that kind of hair. So one time I was driving out and then I came across them. I parked my Mercedes onto the side, cheered them up, and I told them, you guys, this hair is unacceptable. And my colleagues have been talking to them and innovating. So I talked to these guys. Really, I vibed them seriously. In the end, I left my Mercedes parked into the school driveway and we walked. I walked them about 700 meters away from the school. You know, it was near the gate. They were going back to their dormitory. They were arguing that they're about to go home, so why should they cut off their hair? And I insisted that you should go home when you have short hair. So I eventually convinced them. We walked down to Quality Shopping Complex. There is a hair salon that I respect. So they sanitized their equipment. We worked onto the boys. Still they wanted to reduce their little. I stayed there for 2.5 hours because every boy had to be cut when I was there, and sweet talking him and promising them to house them when we get back to school. So, but you know, most education administrators have a feeling that you must be punitive. It would be typical school headmaster or principal would have said, you are suspended. Calls the parent, please, your son is refusing to obey the school rules. Please come and take him. But that's correct behavior. Are you really considerate about this parent who pays thousands of dollars to bring the child to you? In the first instance, the boy came probably when the hair was short. This hair has grown when he's with you in the school. Why can't the school have reasonable mechanism? Why do we keep on expelling? You know, isn't it the trend? So let us deal with the next generation with humility so that they grow up to be people of honor, so that they grow up to be people of dignity and understand that other people can have their shortcomings, but these shortcomings can be corrected amicably. That's my message today.